The company that makes DeWalt also makes Stanley. They share the same parent corporation, the same manufacturing plants, and in many product categories, the same engineering teams. One brand costs significantly more than the other, and the reason that price gap exists has almost nothing to do with the tools themselves. This is the story of how one of the most trusted premium brands in the tool industry was built, not from superior engineering, but from a color scheme, a warranty upgrade, and a concept borrowed from the car industry. Stanley Black & Decker is a company that most tool buyers have never thought about. They know DeWalt, they know Stanley. Some of them know Craftsman or Black plus Decker or Porter Cable. What very few of them know is that all of those brands belong to the same company, a single corporation headquartered in New Britain, Connecticut, that was built over 180 years through a series of mergers and acquisitions that eventually placed competing brands under the same roof. The Stanley Works, as it was originally known, dates back to 1843. Black & Decker was founded in 1910 in Baltimore. The two merged on March 12, 2010, creating Stanley Black & Decker, and with it, one of the strange brand families in American retail history. DeWalt, Craftsman, Stanley, Porter Cable, Bostitch, Irwin, Mac Tools, all of them owned by one company, all of them priced differently, all of them manufactured within the same network of more than 30 facilities spread across 20 states. Once you know that, the price difference between a Stanley tape measure and a DeWalt tape measure looks a lot less like a quality difference and a lot more like a deliberate, strategic choice. The story of how DeWalt got its premium status starts in 1992. It is a more deliberate act than most buyers realize. By the late 1980s, Black & Decker had a problem. The company had spent decades building a reputation for consumer-grade tools aimed at the homeowner market. Professionals didn't want Black & Decker. The brand was associated with cordless screwdrivers and kitchen appliances, not the heavy-duty tools that framers, electricians, and plumbers trusted with their livelihoods. Black & Decker had the tools. They had a professional line called the Kodiak series and a higher-tier range called the Professional line, and those tools were genuinely capable. The problem wasn't the engineering, it was the name on the box. No contractor wanted to pull a Black & Decker off his belt on a job site. So in 1992, Black & Decker's executive team adopted what they internally called the Acura Concept, a strategy borrowed directly from Honda, which had created the Acura brand in 1986 specifically to sell upmarket cars to buyers who wouldn't be caught dead in a Honda dealership. The concept was straightforward. Take your existing product, give it a new name, put it in a different housing, and price it higher. Black & Decker dusted off the DeWalt name, an industrial brand it had acquired back in 1960, and began rebranding its Professional and Kodiak tool lines under the DeWalt label. New yellow housing, expanded warranty, service network. Same tools, new identity. Within a few years, DeWalt had become one of the most trusted names in professional tools. Contractors who refused to buy Black & Decker were buying DeWalt by the case. The rebadging strategy worked so completely that today, most of the people who own DeWalt tools have no idea the brand spent its first 32 years of Black & Decker ownership as a producer of radial arm saws, and no idea that the yellow housing they trust was a marketing decision, not an engineering one. Now here is where Stanley enters the story. And this is the part that matters for anyone buying tools today. Stanley is the oldest brand in the entire Stanley Black & Decker family. It predates DeWalt by 80 years and predates Black & Decker itself by 67 years. When the company uses its brand positioning charts in investor presentations, documents that lay out how each brand is meant to sit relative to the others in terms of price and target customer, Stanley consistently appears in the professional and advanced DIY range. Not consumer, not entry-level, professional. And yet Stanley hand tools are priced below DeWalt hand tools across nearly every category, despite coming from the same manufacturing network, the same corporate engineering resources, and in documented cases, the same production lines. The tape measure is where the comparison is most concrete. The Stanley FatMax 25-foot tape measure and the comparable DeWalt 25-foot tape measure have been examined side by tradespeople on contractor forums for years. The case dimensions are the same. The internal spring mechanism functions identically. The blade coating, what Stanley calls blade armor, is proprietary to the FatMax line, and in comparison tests is rated as durable as or more durable than the DeWalt equivalent. The FatMax standout, the distance the blade extends unsupported before folding, actually measures longer than the comparable DeWalt model, reaching 11 feet versus 10. A Stanley FatMax 25-foot tape retails for approximately $20 to $25. The equivalent DeWalt runs $30 to $35. Same parent company, same engineering heritage. $10 to $15 of difference that exists not because one tape is demonstrably better, but because one carries a brand name that was built on a yellow housing decision made in 1992. The pattern repeats across hand tools. Stanley FatMax utility knives and Stanley FatMax chisels are professional-grade tools, not consumer throwaway products. Stanley's 210-piece chrome vanadium tool set. Chrome vanadium is the same alloy specification used in DeWalt's professional hand tool kits. Sells for meaningfully less than a comparable DeWalt mechanics set with fewer pieces. The Stanley PowerLock tape measure, an even simpler and more affordable option, has been a job site staple since Stanley introduced the iconic design decades ago. The same design that helped establish Stanley Black & Decker as the standard for tape measure engineering worldwide. The company is proud enough of that heritage that it specifically highlights the PowerLock as one of its landmark innovations in corporate materials. But the PowerLock doesn't carry a yellow DeWalt logo, so it retails for around $10 at most hardware stores. The company also sues other tool manufacturers who try to use a yellow and black color scheme on their tools. That's not incidental detail. It reveals exactly how much Stanley Black & Decker understands that the color is the premium signal. The yellow is so valuable as a brand asset that the company protects it legally, and then it sells tools under a non-yellow Stanley brand at lower prices to customers who either do not know the connection or do not think to look for it. So here is what this actually means for anyone standing in the tool aisle. On power tools, drills, saws, battery platforms, the engineering differences between Stanley and DeWalt are real. DeWalt's 20-volt max battery system is more developed, more extensively tested, and more appropriate for sustained professional use than Stanley's equivalent power tool line. The premium on DeWalt power tools is largely justified, but on hand tools, the calculus is different. Tape measures, utility knives, levels, chisels, hammers, wrenches. These are categories where both brands draw from the same manufacturing heritage, the same material specifications, and in some cases, the same production facilities. In those categories, the Stanley FatMax line specifically gives buyers a professional-grade tool with a name that hasn't been marketed into a price premium. The final detail that ties this story together is a small one, but worth knowing. Stanley was once the original equipment manufacturer, the OEM, for Craftsman hand tools, producing wrenches and ratchets for Sears under the Craftsman label for years. Craftsman is now also owned by Stanley Black & Decker, which means that at various points in recent history, Stanley Black & Decker has been producing the same or nearly identical hand tools under the Stanley name, the Craftsman name, and the DeWalt name, and selling all three to customers who believed they were choosing between competing brands. They were choosing between price tiers. The brands were never competitors. They were always the same company deciding how much to charge you for the same decision. If you found this useful, subscribe. There's a lot more of this kind of story where this came from, and most of it is hiding in plain sight on the shelves of stores you already shop at.